pretty quick here. I wanted to follow up with some of you folks from the night before. We kind of ran out of time, even though I ran my neck for like 2 hours. So we're going to take and cruise up the hill here real quick. And I want to show y'all something. So no one's actually currently on the live, but we're going to cruise up here real quick. Go take a look. Let's go see what we got here. Come on, dogs. Load. Hey, there we go. We got someone. Welcome. We're just cruising to the top of the hill here. We're going to take a look around and see what we got here. A little pasture talk tonight. Let's see here. Say hi, Kona. Oh, Kona. Let's see. How you doing, folks? Thanks for joining us. We're just cruising up here. I'm gonna just take a little look around. I want to show you guys what our land looks like after treating it right. let's put it that way. I'm actually flipping around. I changed my mind. I'm gonna go over here and show you something beautiful. It's a really special spot. It's a very beautiful spot. We're gonna just cruise right down here. So I'm gonna flip you around, and I promise it might be one of the prettiest things you've seen today. And look at that grass. That's what we're talking about here mostly. It's just the amount of forage and how much this land has changed in a very short period of time due to the proper grazing management. Hey, what's up, Harry? Thanks for joining, buddy. Let's see. We're gonna keep going. It's a little ways down here. Check this out. Stick with me. Don't run off. It's worth the wait. I promise. Well, I think. I mean, if you like pretty things and you like nice landscapes, seeing like life and biodiversity come back to the land, you got to see this. This is about the bumpiest trail around. My goodness. Oh, driving through some old stump holes. Here we go. We're getting to it. Shut this noisy thing off. There we go. Not really sure what the thug shaker is, but I'm sure I could do it. It's absolutely gorgeous out here right now. And just let me get away from the four-wheeler. You guys don't have to listen to the exhaust popping and tinking. Come on, girls. Good girls. It's our pond. We call it the big pond. And you know, hey, thanks, healthy field. Well, it's getting better. Let's put it that way. You can still see a little bit of broom sedge popping up. But we don't worry too much about that. We really don't. I've learned to just appreciate every single thing that grows in our fields. And what I mean by that is I don't consider anything a weed anymore. You know, I didn't quite understand that. Harry's workbench. You guys. Greenville, yeah, you see houses, lots of them. So, Trump like Russians are in the middle. Trump-like program. I don't know what that means, but okay. So let me flip this around so you can look at my ugly head. I'm going to ruin your view. No, I'll turn around. Oh, the exposure is dog shit. Sorry, can't fix it. I guess I'm going to look this way. So let me explain something what I meant by that. How I said that I don't have weeds anymore. I don't grow a single weed anymore. And all it took was really perspective, a change of perspective. Well, how do I not change? How do I not grow weeds? And what's this change in perspective? Well, what it is, when you look at a plant like this, okay, which happens to be an ugly piece of broom sedge. But see, I don't really think it's that ugly anymore. Why? This is a native warm season grass, and it's telling me something. That's all it's doing. There's nothing wrong with this. It's not the most desirable or the most nutritive for your cattle, especially when it's like this. It's very lignified and very fibrous. So when the animals eat this, they need a pretty good forage to go along with it because they got to be able to take and digest it. And that requires protein and energy to digest fiber. If they don't have it, they can't digest it. They can't digest it. They can't get the nutrition. They can't get the nutrition. They lose condition. So, but they eat this. It's not that big a deal. Why am I not worried about this anymore? Most farmers lose their mind if they see this. Well, because it's just a native warm season plant. And all it tells me that when I see it on my land is that my grazing management sucks. It's my fault it's here. It's the guy that owned this land before me's fault that it's here. And the guy before him, and the guy before him. It's all our faults. So if you don't want this here, well, stop giving it the competitive edge. What do I mean by that? Well, if you take and only, let's say for instance, you're a gardener, okay? Your garden has weeds. Come here, little turd. She's trying to run off. Your garden has weeds and it has desirables. It also has tomatoes and carrots and cucumbers, okay? Now we're using the garden here as a little metaphor. Kind of like, this is my garden, right? So if you go in your garden and all you ever do is cut your tomato plants down, cut down your carrots, cut down, chew down, graze down, remove the desirables and leave the undesirables, what do you think you're going to end up with? Doesn't take a rocket scientist, right? You're going to end up with this stuff. So how do you end up with this stuff in a grazing system? Well, you end up with it because you're non-select, or because you're a selective grazer. You're letting your animals not eat it. So how do we get our animals to eat it? We put them in high stock densities. We put them in really tight, small areas, a lot of animals, a lot of mouths, a lot of feet, a lot of crap, a lot of urine, and it makes magic happen. They chew this, they'll actually eat this. And when they get down close to the bottom, the skeets are trying to get me now. We actually got some skeeters this year, it's weird. When they get close to the ground and go to take that last bite of broom sedge, okay, which is also called uh, little blue. A lot of people confuse it, like in plant identification apps. It's not little blue stem. But they get down to the bottom of it, take that last bite. It has a really weak root system. And when they take that last bite, they yank the whole plant out. I got pastures down here. It was amazing this spring. Ran the cows through there, and when I went to go move them, I looked out and I'm like, oh my God, that's awesome. I have trained weeders. My cattle and horses weed the broom sedge out for me. I don't even have to worry about it anymore. You put them in there in high stock densities, they literally rip them right out of the ground. During the right time of year. Once they're totally brown, they look like straw, wheat. They're not gonna really touch them. They will eat them a little bit. I mean, you can get them to eat anything, but I'm not gonna starve my cattle, right, to do it. So that's kind of the thing. So anyway, it really, the weeds that are on your land, thistles, guys, I've seen fields completely covered in thistles, and I've seen ones without thistles, right? Well, the ones that don't have thistles around here are almost always because they sprayed or mowed. Get over here. Not because they changed their grazing management. So, or not because they also changed their soil biology. What is a thistle telling you? If you see a thistle in your field, well, it's just an indicator species, guys. It's also a pioneer species. Pioneer species mean the ones that come in, right? First, they help to prepare the soil. They help to fix the soil. These are all of the plants that you see. All those weeds, those are pioneer species. Stop hating them and stop killing them. And what I mean by that, stop spraying them. I mean, I look back in prior years when I would get out and pump up the 240 and the Roundup and go spray weeds. Now, don't get me wrong, I'll spray a weed in my driveway, you know, I guess. I'd rather just put vinegar on it because that shit's just poison. But I used to spray weeds. I was a dumbass. I was killing the one thing that could live in that soil. Just because if you kill the weeds, that doesn't mean that you're going to get desirables to grow. Not at all. Quite contrary. You're going to get nothing to grow now. Now you've just pretty much guaranteed that you sterilized your soil and made it inhospitable for anything to grow. So those weeds are there. Oh man, the bugs are getting me. Those weeds are there to fix your soil. So if you see those weeds, especially thistles, especially plants with large taproots, that tells you that your soil is effed up and it's probably really low in calcium. And what are those taproots doing? They're mining way down super deep and they're gonna take and pull back up. Oh man, I'm gonna hate tomorrow. I'm gonna be all eaten up. They're pulling that calcium up into their plant, into their tissues, and when that plant dies, guess what? Releases it back close to the surface. Without calcium, you will have massive compaction. And if you have massive compaction, guess what? People think that compaction keeps your roots from growing down for the mere fact that it's compacted, like it's too hard and the roots can't grow in it. Nay, roots can break concrete and foundations and lift houses. That's not the problem. It's that the root goes down and it gets to an area that becomes anaerobic. And once there's no oxygen in your soil, the root can't survive. That's when it stops growing. So if you hit a hard pan layer, well, there's things you can do to loosen that up. Mechanically, yes, but you will also really wreck anything that you've done to improve your soil closer to the surface. You will tear up your mycorrhiza fungi. There's quite an elaborate inner working, a web going on below the soil or in the soil. And every time you till it, you are setting it back big time, right? You're also volatilizing a lot of the carbon that you have sequestered. What little carbon you have sequestered, you're going to volatilize it. You're going to oxidize it and lose it. So, it's kind of a double-edged sword, but the proper amendments in your soil and the proper rest in your soil. Rest your land, rest your land. And that's the great thing about the total grazing program. You rest half of your land for a full season, and the other half you intensively graze. And then the next year, you flip-flop it. Now, that sounds like I'm saying, oh, well, you're going to need twice as much land. I'm going to get moving here real slow because I am just getting eaten up. Basically, what it sounds like I'm telling you is you need twice as much land, right? That's what I thought at first. I was like, this is some snake oil BS, man. Who's selling this? A banker with a great interest rate? I mean, who the hell can afford more land to rest half of it? Well, that's not actually how it works. What actually happens is if you practice the total grazing program properly, you will grow so much freaking grass that you'll have to increase your stocking rate, i.e. carrying capacity, i.e. animals on the ground, by like double or triple in your very first year. Well, if that's not a game changer to the bottom line and profitability, I don't know what is. Because the number one thing that is affecting your bottom line and profit is your stocking rate. The next thing are your inputs. Well, what if I could tell you could reduce your inputs to mere dollars per animal per year and increase your carrying capacity by, depending on the land, year over between 2 and 5 times? Well, it happens. We're doing it. We're already showing it. It's possible. I can't actually show and prove my actual carrying capacity of my land because I don't have enough cattle now. I'm not even close. I mean, I've got a year and a half of forage, grass, pasture. Let's put it this way, in simple terms. I'm not real bright either, so if there's anybody out there that's a little slow, I'll talk a little slower for you. It means that I have It'll take me over 1.5 years to graze the grass that is currently on my land right now. That's a really awesome problem to have. Like, when I first started this, I never thought that that would be a possibility of a problem. The only problems I ever thought about before were like, can I afford enough hay? Can I buy enough hay? Can I afford this? Can I afford that? How much of this am I going to have to buy? And how much of that? Oh my God. Now I'm like, I need to figure out how to buy more cows to eat all this grass. It's insane. So these are some of the things that, if you run cattle, if you have land, any kind of animals, I don't care what they are, as long as they're ruminants, not even that. Hindgut fermenters, you got horses. And by the way, they work great together. Horses and cattle, they're like peas and carrots. They do, they work badass. The cattle eat stuff that the horses won't, and vice versa, So they get along pretty good. They add a different amount of biology to the soil. They both have very different gut structures. And, they just work. So if you feel so inclined to have animals, run animals, got land, you got to look at the total grazing program. Oh my gosh, this stuff works. I'm going to go through a really dark spot right here. Use my sulfie stick to catch all the spider webs that are going to smack me right across the face. I'm going to show you this bottom field before it gets pitch black. I want to show you this. This is badass. This was nasty last year right here. This was some pretty, I better pull out further. I'm next to the creek. I'm gonna get hammered. It's weird too because we just haven't had mosquitoes historically, but apparently we got enough rain and they're ravenous little bastards right now. All right, I'm gonna flip this around real quick. And I know it's getting hard to see, real hard to see. Damn, man, that light went quick. But that is some high quality, super fine bladed, palatable, high energy forage that used to just right here be like, the interplant spacing was terrible. It was, plants were that far apart, 8 inches apart, dirt everywhere. Come. And our yield was terrible, right? Like 30 to 50 cow days an acre, some crazy crap like that. I mean, we'd graze through this thing, man, and leave a vapor trail behind us. We were moving the cattle so fast, it was terrible. Well, we learned how to take and slow down and consume almost all, if not all, of the available forage, and how to manage our cattle right to do it. And it's allowed our land to rest so long, and it's like a snowball. It just continues gaining momentum to where you're growing so much more grass because you're resting longer, and the longer you rest, the more grass you grow. So the slower you graze, and the slower you graze, the longer you rest, and the more grass you see how this goes. And it just perpetually it kind of spirals out of control in a good way. So that's what we're experiencing right now. So at any rate, I want to throw out there the Total Grazing program. It's put on by Jim Elizondo. He teaches it, he preaches it. He's got classes and courses. We're actually going to be doing a grazing school out here November. And man, I'm looking so not very technologically advanced either. I hope you guys, oh, hey, 223 of you stuck her. Oh no, I lost them all. That's so funny. I'm all fat fingering it, lost like 200 people like that. Well, I apologize. I'm really glad that you guys stuck around for that. Anyway, 7th and 8th of November, here at our ranch, just outside Alton, Missouri, we're going to be putting on a grazing school hosted by us and taught by Jim Elizondo with Real Wealth Ranching. It is going to be badass. I cannot wait for it. There's only going to be 50 available openings. So if you want to get in, email us at tickcreekranch417 at gmail. Again, tickcreekranch417 at gmail.com. And let us know. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait. We're lunch is included. It's going to be 2 days, 7th and 8th. So we're going to be a bunch of classroom teaching, Q&A. And then we're going to go out around the ranch here and check everything out that we've done, show everything we've done right, show everything we've done wrong. Jim's going to get to tell everybody where we're screwing up and where we're doing good, just really kind of bringing the whole thing together. And I love it. I mean, I'm all about the criticism. I want to just continue to get better at what we do here. So it's just a big learning experience. Anybody wants to join us, again, TickCreekRanch417 at gmail.com. Hit us up for grazing school November 7th and 8th. with Jim Elizondo with Real Wealth Ranching here at our ranch in Alton, Missouri. It's going to be amazing. So we're going to put on lunch. My boys are actually quite the chefs, I'll tell you what. So they've got quite the menu already they're concocting. And we're gonna have lunch right here on the ranch. I think we're just gonna put up like a big party tent and with sides on it. If the weather looks like we might need to, we'll have some propane heaters in it. Dress warm. It should be a great time. We'll do some tours. We'll take the flatbed truck with the big trailer, fill it with some hay bales, and we're gonna cruise around and look at the ranch, talk about the cattle. It's getting really dark here, sorry, but that's all right. Now you don't have to look at my dumb face. Yeah, it should be a great time. Absolutely great time. So again, hit us up on our email if you want to attend that. And just really looking forward to it. And it's kind of be a meet and greet. I'd like to, if some of our followers actually get the opportunity to show up, that would just be awesome. We get to meet some of you folks. So howdy from Ukraine. Yeah, hey. Yes, it is beautiful out here. The only thing that's annoying and making noise out here is me. Here, I'll shut up for a minute and let you guys listen while I get eaten by mosquitoes. It's not too bad, huh? Actually, I think I heard a wild, the rare and elusive Grayson. That kid of mine, he makes some strange sounds. Anyway, guys, hey, I really appreciate it. Yeah, hey, you know what? If you stuck around this long, we'd just really appreciate it. Hit the like button. That helps us out a ton. Getting these videos out, trying to spread the word about the Total Grazing program. It just helps people up like crazy. And it can actually make the American rancher profitable again, instead of being so susceptible, to globally produced meats. It's hard for a lot of ranchers to make it. Property taxes are high, land prices are high, inputs are high, and for the moment, beef prices are high. But that's not going to last long. It really won't. We're on a 12-year cycle. It goes up for 6 and down for 6 and up for 6 and down for 6. And right now, I'm getting attacked by mosquitoes. But right now, it is at its peak, and I think it has actually peaked. So, the American rancher and farmer has got to learn how to survive without all of these damn inputs and poisoning our land, poisoning our watershed. We got to stop it. So that's what this is all about: working more in sync with nature and healing the lands. Like, really, not like this hippie crap where we get together and beat on a drum and talk about saving salmon somewhere in some abstract area. That's just bull crap. That doesn't do anything. That's grandstanding and crap. You go smoke a joint and stink, smell like patchouli for what? No, this is actually like real boots on the ground, making a difference, sequestering carbon, if you're all into that thing. Yeah, I'm into sequestering carbon because it builds my fertility. Do I believe that the planet's going to burst into a ball of, I don't know. I don't even care. I care about healing the land. And I think in doing so, we're going to be improving nature. And right now, I'm improving the mosquito population, I think, because I'm feeding this damn thing. So we'll catch you on the next one. Hit us up, tickcreekranch417 at gmail.com. See you, bye.